I'm actually writing
So cute.
a romance novel, which I've always wanted to do.
Nice.
I'm writing a romance novel right now. When I say I got some sex scenes for your mama, oh my God.
Do you have like a favorite, like a reoccurring?
Girl, I just have this fantasy of a man just like walking down the beach. You know, my wig is whipping in the wind. He looks at my eyes. I look at his eyes. God know my heart. And it's going to be some, woo!
This episode of IRL Podcast is powered by Boost Mobile.
Sherri Shepherd, the amazing Sherri. Remind me of the thought I was just telling you because I want to talk
about being jaded and
the
chill.
season that we're in right now.
We're in.
But first, I must say that she is a force of nature, a comedian, an actress, a daytime talk show host. She's an Emmy winner, an NAACP winner. She is a badass. She is a mom. She just killed this movie. Raw. She, am I forgetting anything? A New York Times bestseller.
Oh my gosh.
Podcaster. Nationally syndicated talk show, of course.
And still don't know her head from her ass.
Oh,
look
please.
at that girl.
The one and only Sherri Shepherd is in the
Angie! I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited too because I know we haven't hung out that much.
That's what I was thinking. The same thing. Like we gotta hang out. We would have fun.
But I will tell you, the times that we have interacted have been very genuine.
Absolutely, you a real one.
So are you. I always felt that about you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We just run into each other in moments. There's always very quick, honest conversation about whatever's going on.
Absolutely. And don't let us have time at a bar. Because it's those times. We'll see each other be right at the bar. Oh, we have a good time.
You're like, what you think about this? What you think about
Give me
this?
some advice here.
Tell me about that. What were we just talking about before?
We're talking about being in the season.
In the season of, you said.
And I said a bit jaded, and I said because I don't, at this season of my life, a lot of stuff does not impress me like it did when I was in my 20s. In my 20s, in my 30s.
What impressed you?
You know what? I always wanted to be a part of. I felt like if I wasn't a part of the group, that fear of missing out. So if I was on a set or somewhere and people were talking, I'd have to feel like I have to join in and say something witty. Yeah. And like I remember being at a when Beyonce had a party for her first perfume, and somehow I managed to get behind that rope, and I was sitting between Beyonce and Jay-Z, and I didn't feel enough. And so I looked at Jay-Z and I was like, I was in jail.
What?
Jay-Z looked at me like, okay. So I always felt like I had to have a funny story. Now, if I see like a group of people, I don't feel like I have to join in. I feel
that
fine.
Need to like want to impress.
I don't feel like I have to impress. Yeah. I am so good.
That's so good
at who I am. I feel like I'm enough, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm in a weird season right now, Sherri. I'm gonna be really honest. Because when you said that and being about jaded, I was like, am I jaded? I don't think so. But I am not easily impressed. Or maybe
I guess that's what I mean. Jaded might be the wrong word.
But I will say on the other side of that, lately, because I've seen some bad character in people recently, right? Yeah. And it makes me, I'm so in tune to people who are self-aware, say what they mean what they say. And that's not the norm.
It's not the norm at all.
If you meet 10 people, you're lucky if one of those people is self-aware, confident, in the moment, present. And so lately, when I'm in the presence of those people, I genuinely I feel like I'm genuinely grateful to meet people who are just
absolutely
who have done some work on this. They're comfortable. They know who they are. They say what they mean what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
like genuine people. Like, it's funny. Have you ever been talking to a person and they look beyond you? Like, who else is in the room?
Oh.
And you're like, okay, you know what? We probably should end this conversation.
Yeah, I'm done here.
You're obviously looking for somebody way more important. Yeah, they just looking around. But I feel the same way too. It's just like in this season, I don't want to be in situations where it's drama. I don't want to, I'm not going to beg you for your approval. You have the right to, like, there was a guy, he was texting me and then he just ghosted. And everybody was like, that butthole and that's it. And I said, you know what? I'm not, it's okay. Yeah. You're not obligated to like me, and I'm not going to spend a lot of energy on this, because that's how I feel like it's a season of my life. I'm not spending a lot of energy on unnecessary energy.
Yes.
So I'm just like,
or trying to make you
appreciate me, trying to show you, oh, look, and doing a whole clown dance. Like, no, I'm really funny. No, I'm a great person. I'm not doing all of that. I know I am. I know So if it's not you, then you're out of the way. It would have been nice if you would have said, okay, this is not for me. But if you didn't, it's okay, because you're out of the way, and then there's someone else. Like energy, I'm just really like discerning for energy.
Does this mean you're in the dating streets right now?
Girl, yes, I am.
Love that for
you. I am in these dating streets. Girl, when I say
what's out here?
Well, you know what? I refuse to be, because I know women who are like, men ain't nothing and men don't never, yeah. I'm not like that, because I absolutely believe that there is someone out there. It's only one. There is someone out there that is either being prepared for me, or I have to go through something to get prepared for him. But there's somebody out there that I'm really ready to be intentional about committing. But until then,
look, you're even smiling and giddy when you're talking about it. You really believe it. I love that for you.
I do believe that, but I feel like if that doesn't happen right now, it's because, Sherri, you need to do things. I'm so busy right now, so it's like maybe it's just not right now. But I know that there's one, and I'm very excited about what God is going to bring. And if you ask me out, let's go out and have a good time. I'm not pressuring. I
love that for you.
Yeah, so I'm in a great space.
Are you very locked in and very committed to like the idea of God's will and God's time, and when things are for you, you're like,
yes,
and
that spirituality is right there. And I'm always praying, Angie, because I'm like, Lord, don't let me spend a lot of energy on stuff that I'm not supposed to be spending it. Don't let me be running after a person that I'm not supposed to be running after. So this is what I ask God. I go, Lord, if it's not from you, blow this sucker up. Blow it up quick, so that I know this is from you. And then give me the strength to walk away. Because sometimes God will blow it up and you be like, yeah, but maybe God, you don't understand. Like he did what he did. I go, Lord, give me the strength. Once you blow that up, and I said, give me the strength to walk away, because I don't want anything I'm not 20. Okay. I got a finite amount of time. What do people say is more years behind me than it is in front of me? I look good. You do look good. Yeah, so do you.
Thank you, baby.
But it's still like, it's just like, I know I don't have a lot of time to be playing around. I don't have 5 years, looking up 5, 6, 7 years, and I done gave you everything.
Here's the thing. Here's a thought that I've had. I've had this conversation with girlfriends recently. Especially younger women, you get involved or get in relationships with people, and it's about what they believe this person could become.
Oh, that potential.
The potential.
Ooh, you in love with the potential.
Potential.
You hear me? Potential. All right.
Have you done that?
Yeah, when I was in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s, yeah.
You're not doing potential?
No,
now?
We don't do potential no more. Now, because I know, here's the thing, I know who I am. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. I have learned, I've been through 2 very high profile divorces.
Aww.
And let me tell you, when you owe the IRS money for the next decade is what I was paying. It cost me, that second divorce over $1 million. That's some money I could have been saving up for my son's college education. Now, all that money's gone to the IRS. And so I have learned through very hard choices and hard consequences, this is what I need. I'm not a gold digger, but you have to be on some kind of financial level like me. We both got to have something to lose.
You want an equal partner?
I would like an equal partner. Now, every day is not going to be equal, but that's what I know. And that's so if you don't have that, it's okay. No harm, no foul. But I'm not the one for you. And it's okay. So maybe you're the one for somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be trying to, you telling me, well, all I can afford to do is take you. That's not going to work, sir.
Potential, though, is not only sometimes about money. Potential is you believe somebody's going to become a better version of themselves. They're going to show.
I ain't got no time for all that.
They're going to do the work.
I don't have time for all that. Because that sounds wonderful. And you have to link up with someone who's on that level as well. So y'all can help each other grow. So y'all can help each other build the empire that you want. That is absolutely beautiful. But at this stage where I am, I can't help you build.
Right. And then also if they don't ever become that
And if you don't build it, again, I'm not looking up in 7 years going, I done helped this. He been using my car, driving I done helped him. I done caught you. I'm not doing all of that. And it's okay.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Hey guys, you ever sign up for a phone plan thinking, wow, this is a great price? And then a few months later, it's like a surprise, this bill is higher. With Boost Mobile, you pay $25 a month forever. That's unlimited talk, text, and data starting at just $25 a month. So no price hikes, no contract, forever. Plus, Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. They have invested billions building 5G towers across the country. So visit boostmobile.com or head to your local Boost store today and get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever. 5G speeds not available in all areas. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
What do you think is the biggest, because, you're not the first person to get divorced. You ain't going to be the last person.
The last.
What is the biggest thing that it taught you, though?
It's very interesting. The second marriage at 43, I was so scared that I was going to be this old lady with nobody in my life. 43. Okay, at this season of my life now, which is 15 years later, girl, I'm good. I wake up in my brownstone. Jeffrey's upstairs asleep. I'm good. I don't feel that like, oh my gosh, who am I without a man? Now, don't get me wrong. There will be a time, and I know this, when there will be somebody. I'm going to be great for him. He's going to be great for me. Maybe it's not the time right now, but I feel good. You know what? I'm more intentional about really like living life and traveling with my girlfriends, where I'm not looking at them going, I got to pick up the check all the time. I travel with women we all put our credit cards down.
Yeah.
We all go, I'm going to take care of the bill this time. So I'm more intentional about traveling. I'm about to go to Italy with my girlfriend. We're going to buy a place in Tuscany. Okay?
Heard you.
Yeah. Did you hear me?
I did. I heard you.
So that's where we're going to have the girls trip, at the villa in Tuscany. I am so excited about that. I want to buy a place in Ghana. Like, there's things that I'm doing in this season that I'm very excited about, and I don't have anybody holding me back. I'm not going, girl, I got to be home, because, if I don't call him, he going to be.
Yeah.
I don't have to, be with somebody who's like, he wants to walk their red carpet because he needs me to talk to this person about his script. It's like, I am in a great place. I'm open for something, but until somebody comes in that opening that's the right person, I'm having fun.
I love that for you.
I'm having fun. And I'm intentional about going out. So when people call me, Bevy Smith call, you want to go out? Girl, yes. Because otherwise I'll be sitting on the couch.
I'm going to need you and Bevy to reach out to the kid right here.
Girl, we'll call you.
I'm coming out.
We was out with Candy Burris, me, Bevy, and Candy. We was over in Harlem, acting a fool, acting a complete fool. All three of us.
For sure.
Girl, we hung out till probably midnight. When we were having,
she said midnight, like that was crazy.
Well, that's crazy for me, because I was looking at Candy Burris like, when we gonna go home? I'm so daggone tired, but we had a great time. This season is about getting out, having fun. I don't take things seriously, and I'm good.
I love that.
And I'm also trying to lean into my feminine energy. So I have to learn to soften my voice, because right now I'm in boss mode. I got 223 people relying on me for their livelihood.
Oh, wow.
Angie Martinez don't show up. There's a lot of people not working.
Couple, yeah.
You said a couple hundred.
Not as many as your show, not as many as the Sherri Shepherd show, which I'm sure
it's a lot
of people.
But I still am leaning into my feminine energy. So, talking a little bit softer.
I was going to say, what does it mean? What does that mean, leaning into your feminine? What does that require? Because maybe I need some of that too.
I think that because so often that women are not heard and are not seen, you have to sometimes make yourself heard and make yourself seen. Like, I remember one time, it was told to me, I wanted a certain female on my team, and we couldn't find one. And so the heads up sent me an email and said, don't worry, we'll find the right woman for you. Okay, hold on now. I'm not 5. That boss thing has to go. I'm not 5 years old. I'm not, I want to be a part of this process. I am going to be a part of this process of finding the right executive to be alongside me. So it's like having to boss up and be a little bit firmer, but I'm still a woman. So I'm still nurturing. I'm still caring. I'm still compassionate. But I think in the dating thing, men sometimes, ladies, we have to learn how to switch and turn that boss off. And, because men, Angie, you know this, they want to be respected. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be supported. You know,
but so do we, don't we?
We do, but sometimes
I do.
But I think sometimes coming in going, you know, with this kind of thing, like, what are you doing? It's too much.
I say to that man, what are you doing to allow her to be in her feminine space around you?
That's absolutely right.
So if to a man who is not receiving that, maybe they have to question what they are offering. Are they doing?
But hopefully what
kind of space are you creating for that woman?
Right. But then I have to, because I can't look to that person to be that thing for me. Right. I'm hoping that is a person I will align with, but I also have to look at me. What am I doing to, you know, so we're creating a space for each other.
Yeah.
That's what having discernment is, and knowing in this season, seeing it right away and not thinking, you know what, it'll be better, or maybe he'll change. I mean, no. He's showing you who he is.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what you're getting.
That's what you're going to be getting for the next however many years.
Yeah.
He's showing you right now. So leaning into that, but also leaning into my softness, because it's there. That's one of my superpowers. I've just had
I've always seen that in you.
Huh?
You always have like a warm, welcoming kind of. It's probably why you've been successful. People like you. They want to talk to you. They want to be around you.
But I still do. I just go, you know, I just want to make sure that I am in that space.
What about in your workspace? Like, how are you still as motivated, inspired? Like, because daytime talk show every day,
girl.
People don't realize what a workload. That's a workload. It is like, you really got to be committed to work.
You do. It's and this is the 4th season, so it's always it's that pressure of having to top yourself.
Yeah.
What are you going to do better than last season? And unlike being on The View, you have 4 of the women. If you call in sick on The View, it's somebody that can take your place.
Yeah.
Because it's 92 of those women that sit at the table. You know. If you are, when it's the Sherri show, I can't get sick, because if I get sick, it's a lot of people. There's no cameramen that need to come in, no sound people, no light people, no hair and makeup.
Yeah.
That's people's livelihood.
It's a lot of pressure.
There are people who depend on me to keep myself together to come in every day at work. So it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like it, because I love it.
You do?
Like, I
still love it?
I love it so much. You know, to be able to come out, and I always pray, God, show people the side of you. When I'm standing behind the doors and they're going, you want to have a good time? I go, God, show people the side of you that they don't get to see much. And that's the God that loves to laugh. Like, that's the God who wants to laugh till his stomach or her stomach hurts. Mm-hmm. Show them that side of you. Meet people in their hurting place with love and laughter. Bless them to feel better than when they came. Show them that side of you through me. You can't help but like go in and have a good time.
That's a great prayer.
To have a job where your only assignment is to make people feel good. What a job to have. Mm-hmm. That's all God says. I want them to feel good.
What happens because you can't be good all the time, right? Because life has seasons. You have challenges. There's things that happen. How do you push through those moments? Like, what makes you go out? I mean, I know the prayer probably helps.
Right.
But when you're in those moments and you have to show up on that level, like what?
And you've got to pick yourself up. And I've been through those moments. Yeah. It's like,
do you always deliver?
It's really my spirituality. Mm-hmm. It truly is my faith in God that this is temporary. You always have to believe this is not where I'm going to stay. This is not a place that is a permanent place that I'm going to reside in it. This is a place that I'm going through. I'm going through it to come to the other side. It's a lot of, self-talk of maybe what am I supposed to be learning in this season? Where am I supposed to regroup? Where do I need to course correct? I'm thankful that God gave this blessing of a talk show to me in this season. I got it at 54. I don't know who gets talk shows at this age.
No. Who gets talk shows anymore?
Yeah, they don't even give out talk shows anymore. But
I remember the season, everybody was getting a talk show.
Yeah, if you got one laugh, they gave you a talk show. Now it's a lot harder, But for me, I'm just like, am I supposed to be course correcting? I heard a pastor say one time that sometimes God doesn't give you to make that dream come true. Sometimes he allows you to go through the fire, because when the reality of that dream comes, you have to know how to get out of the crash and burn. You got to know how to, get up, brush your shoulders off so you can continue. But so many people get things so early and they crash because they don't know how to handle when they fall.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, you know what? I've learned not to overthink things, Angie. Sometimes I say stuff on that show and I go, oh, what are they going to think? What? They ain't think about you. That's one thing. They not thinking about you.
And if they were, by tomorrow,
it's going to be something else that they think
or
about.
2 days from now, it's
2 days
finished.
from now.
It's rare anything lasts more than a couple of days.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I go, if I didn't harm anybody, I'm probably overthinking it, and I've learned to brush my shoulders off. Sometimes now I do something different on my show. I come out and do stand up in front of the crowd. That's different. I don't sit in my chair. I come out and I do straight stand up for 4 minutes. I did a bit the other day. It was bombing. Wasn't nobody laughing. I said, Sherri, they hear the thing in my head. I was like, God put you here. It wasn't like he didn't know this wasn't going to happen. Calm down, slow down. Because if you start speeding up, it sounds like you're nervous. Slow down. They're enjoying you. They're enjoying you. It might not be going the way you want it, but they still like you.
Yeah.
And it just kind of calmed me down. I stopped overthinking.
Wait, is this going on while you're doing your monologue?
Yeah. It goes on while I'm talking.
In the middle of your monologue, this is the conversation.
This is self-talk in my head.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't hear laughter. Oh my God, look at that girl who just staring at me. She's not even smiling.
Yeah.
In my thoughts, I go, maybe she's just enjoying what you're saying. Yeah. She don't have to laugh.
That's a lesson for everybody, because everybody has a voice inside their head at all times. And then we meet people in the streets, or we meet people at work, or the lady in the office gets on your nerves. You have no idea what's going on in her head. Maybe she's sitting there thinking, nobody in this room likes me. Nobody's. Yeah. And we're like, it happens to me sometimes. I just said this to Brittany the other day. I was like, sometimes a guest will come in and they'll be like a little reserved.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, they hate these questions. They hate the way this is going on. And then it'll pick up and things get better. And then later they'll say, oh God, thank you. I was so nervous.
Right.
And I go, oh, they were nervous.
They were nervous.
But in my mind, I think they don't want to be here. Mm-hmm. They don't enjoy this conversation. I'm already having those like, what's happening here? Okay, just keep going. But you just never know what another person has going on, or
you don't know what their defense mechanism is.
Yeah.
Another prayer that I always pray is, I'm like, Lord, show me that person the way you see them. Ooh. And then sometimes I'll get, wow, they're very lonely, or, they're shy, or it's just like, you love them too. So how do you see them? Let me, instead of making those assumptions about somebody.
That's really good.
And
imagine we all did that, because there's so much judgment these days. I don't like this person. They don't like what I like, so I don't like them. Or
absolutely,
there's just judgment everybody's all day judging everybody all day.
And sometimes you might see somebody just staring at you and they're just thinking of something else. It just so happens they're not thinking about you.
But imagine every time we stopped ourselves before we had we judged somebody or disliked somebody or made an opinion about somebody. If we stopped ourselves and said, God, show me them the way you see them.
The way you see them. Yeah.
How different the world would be.
How different the world would be, and how different. And you might know, it might be a friend that you would be making. But I wanted to say another thing when you asked me, when you go through it, I think you have to have really good girlfriends. I think for me being a woman, like for men, I would say you got to have some really strong men friends that keep you accountable if I were a man. But as a woman, I believe you have to have some really good girlfriends in your life.
Tell me a time.
Oh gosh, when I was going through my second divorce, and I'm gonna say this name because everybody knows her. I was working on the show Soul Man with Cedric the Entertainer and Niecy Nash. I was flat broke because I hadn't worked on The View in a year. They had let me go. Like, I was going through this very expensive and very high profile divorce. Google it. That's all I gotta say.
I remember.
And I needed money, because I had a son who had special needs. So any job, girl, I was taking jobs, cooking shows. I don't know how to cook. I don't know the right words to cook. All I kept saying on this cooking show I did, ooh, this tastes good. But I had a cooking show. I was doing whatever I could to keep my son together, keep the mortgage paid. And I took a job on Soul Man, and I flew back and forth like twice a week to do Soul Man. And I got served papers like at a comedy club. That's the thing. When you be serving somebody go through a divorce, you want to do it in the most humiliate that person in the most way in the best way you can. But I remember I had gotten served and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. All I'm trying to do is take care of my son. I got to smile. Nobody knows what I'm going through.
You got to go up there and tell jokes.
I got to tell jokes. Everybody hates me because they think I was a certain way. They don't know me. And I'm reading these comments and, I can't get a brand deal because advertisers don't like any scandal. No, they don't have any jobs. And I remember going to Niecy's room and she said, "Hey, Diva." And I just started crying.
Oh.
I fell on the floor and I just sobbed. And all I felt was her getting on the floor next to me. And she just held me. She held me. I got snot all on Niecy's leg. And she just held me and rocked me back and forth. And I was like, I can't do this no more. I'm not a bad person. What did I do? And just cried. And she just held me. And I was just going through it. I mean, it was just like, it was a very high profile divorce.
The only reason I find that I find that it's just a moment because I feel like there's a lot of people going through a lot of shit right now.
Girl.
People are having trouble with jobs, money, relationships, whatever. I just know a lot of people is going through really dark shit. And so when I think of you in that moment,
and it's a lot.
Even your movie Straw is like,
that Taraji, that Janiyah. When I tell you everything happened to her in the first 15 minutes, like what else?
Listen, there's people out there in those moments, and those are critical moments. And so yes, you have this friend that puts her arms around you in that singular moment, but then you have to get up, and I'm sure you went back on stage, right?
Yeah, you get up and you do it, but that's what you need in that moment. I have friends who are like, you have those friends who hear directly from God. They'll be like, "Girl, I was in the shower and God told me to tell you." When they offered me this show, I didn't want to leave LA because my village for Jeffrey was in Los Angeles. The autism centers, because he had just gotten diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Like everything was in LA. I finally gotten my village back together. Now I got to go back to New York. And my girlfriend said to me, she said, "God said to tell you, New York is not for you, Sherri. It's for Jeffrey, because that's where he will find his independence." When I tell you this boy is on Uber, he take the train to school, he goes to get his hair cut, like he's on the spectrum. So I've let him go to Brooklyn by himself and sat there and was like, "Hallelujah, Jesus." I'm speaking in tongues. So I'm like, my baby's in Brooklyn. I'm looking at my phone because I got the locator. I see his head just spinning. You could tell where he just headed just spinning. He go this way, he go that way. And I go, he's lost. Oh my God, I got to call him. And then he'll right himself and make it to the train station. He is finding his independence here.
Wow.
So I needed that girlfriend because I'm so protective of my son, because you don't want the world to hurt your child. And he's 20, Angie. If you look at my son, you will automatically see this boy is just, he's a young kid. He operates at a different mental level. But to others, he looks like a grown man with sideburns and a beard coming in. Yeah. So he must be this type. And you don't want anybody to judge him. So I always am very protective. But my son, literally, him being here, he don't nothing affect him. He's so I
love that.
He's so happy-go-lucky. He said, "I was on a train, Mommy, and this man, he was asleep next to me, and he woke up and he looked at me and he said, 'What are you doing here?' And I said, 'Jeffrey, what did you do?' I said, 'Bro.' He shrugged his shoulders like, 'Whatever, bro.' And he went back to listening to his music.
But how do you prepare him? Do you have, because it's so funny, because who was I talking? I had Cardi B here. Last episode.
Yeah.
And she's a boy mom. And we were talking about the things that we tell girls versus being a boy mom and how you prepare. And one of the things she wanted to make sure her son knows is about like dating. So she was saying, when a girl says no in any type of way, it's no, you're going to win. And I just, I'm a boy mom too. So there's conversations I've had to have about the people you choose in your life, relationships, friends is a big thing. I always try to tell them. And also, you got to, first and foremost, you got to be a good person, right? You got to treat people how you want to be treated. Say what you mean what you say. But also when you have a child who, like you said, has special needs.
Yeah, there's
probably so many things you have to prepare him for.
So much. And I feel like I got 5 minutes left to teach him about life. I got 5 minutes.
Before he doesn't want to hear it?
On his own, yes. Yeah. Even now he feels like I'm nagging him all the time. And sometimes it's very scary. Jeffrey had to, even though he's on the spectrum, he had to register for the military. That was something that I didn't think about, because at the time he had to be registered at 18. They said, I was trying to get him out of it, but they was like, you're a celebrity. So either he could go to jail or be fined a lot of money. You could be a scapegoat. So I had to register my son, and they said, don't worry. We're not in an active war. So if anything happened, we would, do the mental test, the emotional test, and we're going to send him home. Well, now with this administration, I don't know what's about to happen.
I know.
I wake up out of my sleep terrified, going, my son is registered for the military. It's hard explaining to him what's going on now, about the government, because he just looks at things in black and white, right and wrong. And I'm just like, I don't want anybody to take advantage of my son, because Jeffrey doesn't read bad energy. He's just like happy-go-lucky. So, you don't want them to get hurt. But sometimes, we are where we are because we got hurt, because we had to go through some stuff. So what do I tell my son? I try to just teach him to be an amazing person. I really work on accepting his differences. I had to mourn why he wasn't like me. My son doesn't like attention. He stopped me from talking about him on stage. I am forbidden to say his name, to give any experiences. I say, you are my money. I don't have a man in my life. It's just you. Like, all I talk about it. And he said, no, I'm not a story. So I've had to respect that because, so I just try to teach him, Jeffrey, just, be a good, kind person. I told him the other day, I said, if the police stop you, you must tell them that you're autistic and that you need to call your mom. He said, I'm not autistic. I'm not a label mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Jeffrey, but if something like that happens, and he goes, and the police aren't going to stop me. So I don't want to put the fear of God into my son.
Yeah, but you want to prepare him.
But I want to prepare him. But he's so like, and that's what he believes.
Because his heart is so good.
His heart is so pure.
Yeah,
he's like, that's
pure.
not going to happen.
Yeah. I know that I have friends who have kids on the spectrum, and I always think it's like a gift and a curse in weird ways. There's challenges and blessings, but there's such a purity.
It's such a purity
about the way they maneuver through, at least the ones that I know. I'm sure everyone's different. The children I have been around, there's such a purity in how they move around the world.
Of how they move around in life. And I go, well, maybe Father, he knows something I don't know. He's manifesting something, that might be true. And that's what my girlfriend said when I go through it about Jeffrey. She said, God told me to tell you, who knows best? Who knows Jeffrey best? His mother or the one who created him? That had me laid out on the floor. So a lot of stuff, I literally have to say, Lord, I just entrust my son to you.
I love that.
I don't remember nothing, but I entrust this boy to you.
What about, what has been the greatest joy about that part? Like, what has been the biggest blessing of that, of raising a child who's on the spectrum? And then the most challenging thing?
The biggest blessing is Jeffrey has taught me to be fearless. Jeffrey has taught me to advocate for myself, because I have to advocate for him. And if I can't advocate for myself, I have to be able to, I can't advocate for him. Like it's a real thing about Black boys being in school and the way prison and pipeline prison, and how they are treated. And we need more male teachers of color in there, and that Black boys get in trouble more, because you got people who don't understand them. And I remember there was an incident at school, and they were like, we're going to put it in this file. And I had to step up and go, no, you're not, because that's not Jeffrey's fault. That's not, no, that's not my son. We gonna talk about this. I'm coming in, that's always, I've never liked any kind of, confrontation. I was raised in a religion where we didn't do confrontation. So having to step up to advocate for my son, has been a big one, but it's been also wonderful. It's been a challenge, a child on the spectrum, they repeat things 30, 40 times. They have meltdowns, things that you might look at with my son going, I can't believe you let him say that. Jeffrey doesn't know the difference between tone. So I might go, Jeffrey, he thinks that's just like a regular, he don't understand disrespectful.
Right.
So I have to teach him that. And so somebody else might look at it and go, I can't believe he was doing that. But I know that that's his spectrum. It's called stacking. Like if Jeffrey sees something, if you see a dangerous situation, you'll go, wait a minute, they're doing this. Then you stack it with another thought. I need to do this because they were doing that. Then you stack it with another thought. So this means he doesn't do that with this disorder. He sees it and he still goes and says, hey, bro, what, right. And it's a dangerous situation. So I had to really accept, this is my son. I had to accept his little quirky ways. I had to accept Sherri. He will say the same thing to you 32 times, and he will have meltdowns. And I said, Jeffrey, do I frustrate you? He went, yes, every day, all day. You always want to come in. You keep going, Jeffrey, how you doing? Jeffrey, I love you. Jeffrey, how was school? Jeffrey, did you pull your pants in? Jeffrey, did you take a shower? Jeffrey, did. And I was like, okay, watch your tone. Then he goes, what? I've had to accept that is my son. I've had to accept that my son, who was born the same time as Garcelle Bouvet's kids and the same time as Boris Kojo's son, they're all in college right now. They're all, it's a little not click bad, but they've all grown up together, all the Hollywood kids. I've had to accept my son is a little different, so he probably doesn't fit in like they would. I'm not going to Howard unpacking Jeffrey's stuff. And sometimes I wonder, what would he have been like if he didn't have autism? And I've learned to go, but he's just like who he is. And he's a beautiful kid. And he's so great, and he loves me, even though he wants to be away from me. So that's probably been the biggest challenge of going, Jeffrey's father's a stand-up comic. I'm a stand-up comic. But that boy in more bad moods than anybody ever. He don't want nothing to do with comedy.
With no jokes.
He don't want nothing. But if you say to Jeffrey, what do most people say about Jeffrey? He's so funny. He's got this dry sense of humor, but he wants nothing to do with what his mother and father do. And I go, well, what are you going to do? He ain't going to be no rocket scientist. So that's the challenge of acceptance and accepting that just he is who he is, and accepting that, you know what, he's going to be okay. I wake up a lot terrified. Going, is the world going to treat my son? Are they going to see my son, how innocent he is? That even though his face, Jeffrey will say, I'm crying inside, Mom. But will they see that purity in this boy that is now 21? Because I can't speak for him no more, Angie. People get on the phone. We were talking to Social Security. I'm going to just tell you a story. And then you want to move on. But I think of my son as a 13, so I can't speak for him. So we had to talk to the Social Security office, and they said, Ms. Shepherd, we can't talk to you. He's 20. We had to talk to Mr. Tarpley. And I said, he don't know his hair from his ass. Like, I'm the one, like, you got to talk to me. And they said, no, we have to talk to him. So the first thing they said to him, they said, what is your sex? He goes, well, I'm not having it right now. But when I'm 24, my mom said when I'm 24, I'm having a lot of sex. And I'm sitting there going, you see, this is why I want to talk. And they said, do you do drugs? He goes, not yet. But 24, I'm getting high. I'm going to see strippers, and it's going to be lit. Mom, I'm going to be out there in the streets. Like, and so a call that would have taken 20 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. And I was just sitting here, but I can't talk for him anymore.
Does he make you laugh?
I just sit there and I go, you're so funny. When I tell you I can have an HBO special from the stuff that I go through with my son, but even that he forbids me to talk about. But
maybe when he turns 24, he'll change his mind.
I hope so, girl, because I got funny stuff.
It's so funny that I'm getting ready to read this, because the truth is that during my interview, my alerts kept going off. I had to put them on silent, and it's because my Cash App on my phone is going off because my kids like to go crazy on my Cash App. But it is a good thing. So listen, for all parents out there who have teenagers or young adults who, you're already trying to do a million things. And so if you're trying to keep things under control and give your kids the opportunity to have money and use money and be responsible and have independence, Cash App is here to help make sure that your teen's money is being monitored. You get apps, notifications right on your phone, but they're monitoring their spending, and it makes it very easy. It's in one place, and you can watch what they're doing. With the Cash App card available to teens 13 to 17, with sponsorship by an eligible parent or guardian, that is me, every transaction triggers a real-time notification. So anytime they want to buy a little something, I know it's here. If it's out of pocket, we can discuss it right away. This is empowering your teen to practice independence while also giving you a peace of mind that they're not going to go crazy, and you can keep track of their spending. You can also manage everything directly from your own Cash App account without having to have two and then switching back and forth. So it's super easy. In the one account, you can do that. finally, with Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, no hidden charges, and sending or receiving money is super easy with the Cash App card. And you and your teens' balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring. So if something ever feels off, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone with just one tap. It's super easy. So parents, it's time to start focusing on your teens' financial learning and growth instead of stressing about the fine print. If you're ready to give your teen more independence while staying in the loop, start by downloading Cash App and setting up their account today. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC. Visit Cash App /legal/podcast for full disclosures. What are you going to do about the dating? Is he dating it? You say 24, he's allowed to?
Yeah. No, he was dating.
He's dating. How does that go? Because that must be tricky and scary.
Girl, it's so hard because, he meets certain girls at the school he goes to and, he likes girls. And I told him, I said, well, you could go to your prom when he didn't have a date for prom. I said, you could take Niecy Nash's daughter, Dia. Yeah. He said, how old is she? I said, she's 21. He goes, oh my gosh, she's so old. Why do you keep fixing me up with these old women? It's 21. Jeffrey was like 18. What? So yes, he's dated. He just broke up with the girl. He said, it was some word that these kids use today, but he was like, I needed a break. I said, well, did you tell her? He goes, no. And I go, Jeffrey, that's ghosting. You can't ghost a girl. He was like, why? I just needed a break. She needed a break too. So I made him call her. But the one little girl kept calling him all the time, like every 30 seconds, and he was getting so stressed. So one day she called him. He picked up the phone. He said, yeah, hey, this is Jeffrey's mom. You're calling Jeffrey too much. And she goes, hi, Miss Sherri. I like your wig. And he goes, yeah. Don't get distracted, but you're calling Jeffrey too much. Stop calling him so much. And she goes, okay. He goes, okay, bye. I said, Jeffrey, you never changed your voice. He's like, no, she thought it was you.
Oh my God. Poor Jeffrey.
You see the story?
He's going to kill you. He's going to kill you for even talking this much about
See, this is why, because you make it too easy to talk to, Angie Martinez.
I'm sorry.
If you was mean, I wouldn't open up about nothing.
Why would I be mean? What could be me mean about?
Yeah, but easier than not keep my mouth shut.
Listen, I have an IRL bowl. Oh, we have very light today. A few questions. This is our IRL bowl with in real life questions, conversation starters. Let's see. Take a question in the bowl, see what you get.
I want Cardi B's questions. Bring out that bowl. Like with the questions they was asking Cardi B.
Yeah.
It says, what are some of your pet peeves and triggers? I'll tell you one thing on the show that I cannot take. We get a lot of interns, and I do not like people who walk around me with no smile. Because I go, if I got to smile every day, then you need to smile. But one time I learned about one of the interns, because I had to literally tell her, when I come in, I need to see you smiling, because that's what our job is. People who come into this building need to see smiles. And damn it, if I got to get out there every day, you best be smiling. But then I found out later, after she left, or not right before she left, that she was she came from a very abusive home. She made her way through the world. She was very shy. This was one of her first jobs. She was really kind of intimidated around me. Then I felt bad. I was like, oh my gosh, ain't this? So then I had to go and do it differently. And I told her, I said, your smile is going to be your money, because you have a beautiful smile. And your smile says so much. It lets people know you're approachable. And when I'm more, it was a mentor. When you get a job, a smile says so much. And then when I tell you, she lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh. Then she couldn't stop talking. Miss Sherri, Miss Sherri.
No, it's true though, what you're saying. And I understand that why, especially because when you do a job like you do, it's like, the energy is really important.
Yes.
If you walk into a room and the energy is bad, how are you supposed to? It makes your job twice as hard.
It makes my job twice
to light up the audience when the energy is not good.
Exactly.
So I totally get that.
So that was the one. I don't have too many pet peeves.
Really?
I don't have too many things that trigger me. Ex-husbands who serve me.
Yeah, that's
when I'm at a comedy club.
That's
when
your
they
pet peeve?
me.
That's a pet peeve.
When I'm in my car and they just throw it through the window, the daggone subpoena. That's a definitely trigger with me. I don't like people. I like people. I like these young kids. Walk like you got something on your mind. That's what my mother used to say. I feel like these kids today, like,
Dragon.
Y'all don't understand hustle. It's some that do, but like the majority, like
we went too crazy with the hustle.
We went crazy with the hustle.
Crazy with the hustle.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't even look at my cards today. Is that you're so good, Sherri? Because you do this for a living.
Yeah, because I never stop talking. Look at me.
I could literally not even ask we could just sit. We could just sit here. We could sit here and just talk and have a conversation for 4 hours.
This is what we would do at the bar, except we wouldn't be watering our glass, Angie.
It shouldn't be water in our glass today. I could have used the cocktail today, the day I had. The career. I mean, the career's going, is it not, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's gone, you would say a 10, yes?
I say it's really good. I say it's, I wish I could do more. But, I got to do a movie that was like a huge movie. And, I'm doing what I love at a talk show. I'm about to start a 20-city comedy tour. I'm writing, I got my children's book, but I'm actually writing a romance novel, which I've always wanted to do.
Nice.
A romance novel right now.
That's why you need a new boo, so he could be like a subject. Like he could.
Oh, girl, I got fantasies in my mind that I can put on paper. I don't even need a man for that. You know how many fantasies is roaming around in my mind right now? Very, very. When I say I got some sex scenes for your mama. Oh my God. I don't need no man for that.
Do you have a reoccurring one? Do you have like a favorite, like a reoccurring?
Girl, I just had this fantasy of a man just like walking down the beach with cream linen pants rolled up to his knees. And like, that's my favorite place on the beach.
The beach.
My wig is whipping in the wind and he just comes and and it's just on from there. He looks at my eyes. I look at his eyes.
Oh, I heard you.
Like, oh my gosh, just dark chocolate. Just, oh my gosh. And then after that, the fantasy, living rent free in my head. And it's going to be all in my book. When I tell you, I know, what? God know my heart. And it's going to be some, woo!
Is that already in the works? It's already happened in the book?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm very excited about it. I'm about to start taking my Italian lessons because I told you I'm buying some property in Tuscany.
Love
Absolutely.
That for you. When I think about your career and the different, just the different phases of it and all the things you've done, what would you say is the high moment and the low moment? Like, what was the best moment for you in your career? Is it now?
Oh my goodness!
What is your peak moment? And what is the worst time and the best time of your career?
I've had so many wonderful moments and I've been blessed to work with so many wonderful people. Every moment is a high when I'm blessed to get something. They're doing a Everybody Loves Raymond kind of documentary and I got to be on that. And I was like so thankful because I had a great time on Everybody Loves Raymond. When I was on 30 Rock, I met Tracy Morgan and I had a ball on that show. The talk show that I'm on every day, when I did The View. So I've had really wonderful highs. I don't feel like I've reached my peak, but I'm so thankful for the journey. The lows, girl, I had a lot of lows on The View. People, when I first got on The View, Black women loved me. They, I had these high Q scores. Then one day, Barbara Walters and Bill Getty called me in the office. It was like, every Black woman hates you. Because I didn't know if the earth was round or flat. I made mistakes publicly. And it was like, and by the way, I do know the earth is round. I was just very, very nervous. And you sit next to Barbara Walters and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
I was so zoned out.
I've had my own experiences.
Yes, you have, girl.
As a guest host on that
Did
show.
you get kicked under the table?
I didn't get kicked out of the table. I had a very awkward moment with Barbara one time.
She's a hard cookie.
She was a hard cookie. And I was a hard cookie, but I was there in a soft capacity because I was a guest. And also I was so she caught me off guard.
Yeah, a lot of people got caught off guard who were guests because.
And yeah, she caught me off guard.
You would see the woman who has 10 most fascinating people. Yeah. She'd be walking through the garden. They'd be crying. She'd get them to cry. And then it was the reality of you sat right next to her. She was tough. Yeah. Like she wasn't that person who's walking through the garden arm in arm with somebody and they're sharing all of their secrets and going, I don't know why you making me cry. This is a different lady at The View. So it was that way with a lot of the guests that came on. It was like somebody throwing cold water in their face. Yeah. And
actually, I just remembered a moment.
What was
with you? I had an experience with Barbara that wasn't amazing.
Okay.
As a young, you're just happy to be there. It wasn't amazing. Her tone with me was like, and then I kind of was like, yo, I'm not like, we're
not that one. Yeah.
But also I was respectful because I was in her house.
Right.
And I was torn and tormented with how I was going to handle this situation. And I believe I saw you in the hallway. This is coming to me now. And you had said something like, you know, she's going through some, I don't know. It was like a time for her. There was something happening at the time, but you just let me know, like, it wasn't me.
Right.
It's not you.
I would tell
you're okay. Yeah. You said that to me and I was like, all right, so this is not a specific thing that's happening here. This is just her world and how she operates. But you were gracious enough to, like, I don't know, just come and like almost put your arm on me. Like,
I was that one at the View that did that to the guests because I think they would be thrown a lot. And I would always go and let guests know, don't take anything personal. Like, it's not you. I would let the producers know. Every producer would have a day with Barbara where they would come out in tears because she was very, very, this is exactly what I want. And it wasn't, sometimes it was not the most compassionate or the nurturing.
Yeah.
That's not the words you used to describe Barbara Walters. And I would tell the producers, we all have our days like that.
Yeah.
There are days, Robert looked at me one day and she was like, dear, read a book, and just walked away.
Who said that?
Barbara. She goes, read a book, dear, and walked away. And I was like, I know she just did, what? You know, and I would tell people, it literally, don't take it personal. That was one of those things where it's like, Lord, show me this woman the way you see her. And I saw a lot of things, you know, relationships that weren't there, splintered relationships with people that she loved that were not, you know, I just saw a lot of, so it made me have a lot more compassion. But also she would, you know, I'd have that, when Barbara and I would go out to eat was one of the most wonderful times of my life when it was just her and I wanted to crawl in bed and have a sleepover. That's when you got to see that vulnerable Barbara.
Yeah, she had multiple sides, obviously.
She had multiple sides. And when they would go to dinner, it would be like, oh my gosh, I just want to have a sleepover. The next day, I come in with that thing and she would stab me right in the neck. And I'd be like, what happened? Like, I just wanted to crawl in bed with you and have a, and you know, she would say something to me and I'd be like, okay, wow, you cut me. So there were a lot of sides.
That's funny.
But I did let people know, please don't take it personally.
That was very sweet of you, though.
Barbara also, you know, because she was getting older, having different co-hosts at the table was jarring, you know, because you have to get to know them. You got to find the groove. Like sometimes, you know, as we get into seasons, that's harder for us to accept new people into the circle. You know who you know, and now there's somebody different.
Especially as you get older.
As you get older.
Yes, and you like what you like, the way you like it.
The way you like it. Yes. This is the way. Now I'm looking up because they don't remember things the way younger people do. Yeah. I go through that, Angie, all the time in my show. I go, Lord, why you give me the show at this age? And you know, I can't remember shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. I was sitting there across from Lorenz Tate and he was talking and I go, who is this? I swear, my mind just like went blank. And I said, dog, I know him. I know. And then it came to me, okay, this is Lorenz Tate. But sometimes
that could be menopause. That could have been menopause.
I don't care what it was, but it wasn't good on that couch at that moment.
You know that, but that's actually that's probably menopause.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like sometimes we have to give grace. But that's what after I prayed, Lord, show me this woman the way you see her, because I think she's very harsh on me.
Yeah.
I think, and I saw this is a woman who's in a season of her life where it's competition of younger people coming in. Sometimes in a season of your life, you don't want to be called a legend. You don't want to be called that. You don't want to have people treating you like you're about to die. You know, and sometimes you get overlooked when you're in a season of your life. And so a lot of this and being older and not remembering who a person was and not remembering all of the stuff that I might remember about this Angie Martinez.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's so funny you say that, because you know what? I did have that not so great experience with her, but there was another time I was on and we were walking out. And I had shaken it off. Whatever. I wasn't holding on to it.
Yes.
I was like a little disappointed because people always like in the hip hop world, people would always be like, you're like the Barbara Walters of hip hop. And I'd be like,
I'm not that steak face.
But I never wanted to say anything disrespectful because I respect her so much, you know, but I did have that experience. But then another time I went back on and we were going out. It was, I don't remember who the other hosts were at the time, but we were walking out and she took my hand. Because I was kind of like going slow and I was like a little, not insecure, but yes, insecure. I was a little like, you know, this is not my world.
Yeah.
I just don't want to say anything crazy, right. So I think she felt that energy, and she like held my hand, and she walked out holding my hand as we walked out.
And you're like, wait a minute.
It was very loving. It was like a very loving, same woman.
So
I was like, okay, she just.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was just her getting older.
Yeah.
She didn't want to retire. That Barbara did. I don't care how many newscasters walked out and paid homage. Barbara didn't want to retire.
Yeah.
She wanted to keep doing what she did. But also, this is an industry that's not kind to you as you age. And so this is a woman who was going through all of that, of not being seen, of trying to get the interviews that she would have gotten like that. But because they were younger, a journalist in, they wanted to meet with them. They didn't want to meet, so it's like, it was a season that she was going through that she might not have been the most caring or compassionate to guests that came in. And like I said, it was jarring every day to look up. I was on Dancing with the Stars, and she was getting irritated because there was always somebody sitting in for me, and that, and Barbara was consistent. So that's what I saw. But when Jeffrey would walk in her room, he'd say, nobody's supposed to go in Barbara Walters' room. And he'd run in their room and go, Barbara. And she'd turn around, her whole body would turn around, and she'd go, yes, dear. And he'd go, I love you. Give me a kiss. He secured my job for another 3 years. She loved Jeffrey. So she hooked me up with the Clintons. They had a foundation. She gave money to Jeffrey's school. She showed up. That was a woman who, she treated him like he was her own grandchild. So,
That's
sometimes
beautiful.
people, like you say, they give off something, but we never know what somebody is going through in their world. And women who are getting older, that's hard sometimes in this industry where they want to put you out to pasture.
Fuck that.
Yeah. I'm with you, mama. I'm with you.
All right, let's go in real life questions. You ready? Let's see what we got here for you. Oh, look, there's a card here. I didn't even look at the cards. I'm just looking at you. Barbara Walters, this is you, said that Barbara Walters helped me find my voice.
Most definitely.
You said that.
I talk like this because of Barbara Walters. I used to go, take a little time to enjoy the view. And Barbara said, look, dear, lower your voice because it appears that you are confident when your voice is lower. Speak slowly because when you talk fast, you look nervous, you look desperate. And I got in the mirror and I was like, take a little time to enjoy the view. And I tell that to I call them my little elves.
I'm not gonna lie, that does hit different.
It does hit differently when you are talking with that bass in your voice. And I tell it to my little elves at the job. I call them my interns and my PAs, the girls, because they'll come in and go, Miss Sherri, would you like something to eat? And I go, lower that voice, get it deeper, talk slower. So they come in and go, Miss Sherri, would you like something to eat? And I go, you see how that sounds? Sounds more authoritative. Sounds more, now you can speak up. Now you got the bravado.
You learned that from
Now I do have a high voice when I'm around a man. I'd be like, you ordered all this. You're picking me up. So cute.
You should try the slow voice on the man. It might actually work.
A little slow voice.
All right. In real life, my love.
Yes.
What are you most proud of about yourself?
What am I most proud of about myself? Being able to go out in front of an audience and be authentically me. I used to be so scared of audiences being a stand-up comic. I was terrified of audiences because I was afraid of getting heckled. I was afraid that people wouldn't like me. My face would immediately go to that person who wasn't smiling. I just was afraid. And I remember getting heckled. I had made up a line about my breasts because they were real big and people would always heckle me, especially the black clubs, about, I go, hey y'all, how you doing? And somebody would be like, them big ass titties. There's all these big ass titties.
Oh my God.
And I made up a heckler line that I had worked on that said, you know what? You have to put these titties on layaway. And it didn't come out right, Angie, and everybody started booing me.
Oh, no.
Everybody at the townhouse in LA on La Tijera and Centinela, they started booing me and I cried. I still got the tears on my journal. I cried so much. And D.L. Hughley said, where you going? And I said, I'm not coming back. And he said, if you don't come back, you ain't never getting back on the stage again. You got to come back. Because that's what a comic is. You get back on that stage. And I got back on that stage and I did better. Then Joe Torre was the host. He talked about me. Lord, he talked about me. So I love Joe. And I had to get back up on that stage and I had to learn how to deal with my people. Cause Black folks, they don't be
not gentle.
Black people not gentle. Like white crowds will give you that extra 2 minutes to go, hey, how you doing? And they give you that extra time. Black people, like, I didn't spend all this money on drinks, on these ticket prices. You better come with a doggone rapid fire, delivery. You better come with these jokes. They don't play. And I was always so scared, and I had to really work on that and get back on that stage as many times as I bombed. But that's how I got the respect of, the comics that I came up with, the Joe Torres, the DLs, the Cat Williams, the Chelsea Handlers. I think I'm the most proud of my growth as a stand-up comic. When they told me they wanted me to do stand-up on my show, I was terrified because it's always that thing of, what if nobody laughs? What if I have a party and nobody comes? What if I stand out there and start doing this material and nobody likes it? But going, Sherri, you've been doing this for a long time. You got this. You've gotten on stage. You rock. You headline. You do 90 minutes. You sell out shows. You sell out casinos. You get the respect of other kinds. You can do this.
I love that you beat that, though. Like, what do you tell a young woman, somebody who's afraid to do something that they love to do?
I say, do it scared. Do it scared, because you're going to be terrified. But you know what? On the other side of fear is where all of the blessings are. If you can get past the fear, and that includes doing it scared, it always, when you do it scared, it gives you a little bit more confidence. Do it scared again. It builds up a little bit more confidence so that little voice, the voice that's big that says, you're not enough, you too fat, you too ugly, who gonna listen to you? You ain't got no good ideas. You stupid. You shouldn't be at the same, because that's what that voice says. That's a big voice in your head. But as you keep doing it scared, that other voice goes, you're enough. You can do this. You've built it up. You've done the work. And it starts to drown out that you're not enough. You too this, you too that. With that voice that goes, they love you because you didn't put in the work. And that voice drowns out the bad stuff. And then you can walk out. For me, when I walk out that door, I go, you know what? Walk into what God has already written, Sherri. And I walk out and I go, I'm not slapping God in the face by going, He already wrote it. This is what he gave me. This is a blessing. So go out there and be confident, Sherri. Know that they love you. Know you got a great smile. Know that you are compassionate and you are enough. You are enough. And that's what I guess I'm most proud of myself for, or I'm so thankful for, that I'm at this place.
Good for you, baby.
And that took a long time to get there.
Hey guys, today's show is brought to you by Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet is a sportsbook app, and it's a really simple sportsbook app if you just want to see what everyone's talking about, or if you don't even really care about the game, but you want to make it a little more interesting. You could just bet $1 or $2, very easy. And one Hard Rock Bet player last week turned a $3 bet into over $29,000 in winnings. And if you want to see more wins like that, or you just want to see what I'm talking about, you can follow at Hard Rock Bet on social. Football season is still going, so if you want to try your first bet on Hard Rock Bet, you can get $150 bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if that hits, you get not only your winnings, but you get $150 in extra bonus bets. And since it's Wednesday, if you're already betting on Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app, you know what that means. It's the last day to use your legendary reward drops. Open up the app today and you could have a bonus bet, or who knows what's in there, all kinds of stuff. And it's always a nice surprise. So new rewards drop tomorrow. Don't miss out. Head over to the Hard Rock Bet app and make your deposit.
When do you even have time to make a children's book in the middle of all of this?
Girl, you know what?
This is funny. So cute, by the way. It's so
the
cute.
Sunshine Queens. And I take all of my stories as an adult with the queens in my life, because I've been rocking with most of my girlfriends for over 25 years. The people that y'all know and your listeners know are the Niecy Nashes, the Garcelle Bouvets, the Kim Whitleys, Lisa Ann Walter, who's on Abbott Elementary. Like, those are all 25, 26, 30-year friendships that I have had. So I just wanted to take the stories of how they brought sunshine in my life and bring them down to a place where 4 to 8-year-olds could get it. Because I believe these little girls watch us and they see everything that we do, and we can either plant seeds in them or we can, not give them anything, give them negativity. I believe in planting some positive seeds. I want these little girls to know the power of womanhood. I don't like it when women say to me, I can't stand women because these women bitches, they want to take your man. They treacherous. They want to. Then who's doing that with? But then who are you?
Yeah.
Look at yourself. If that's who you are around, who are you?
Yeah.
Are you showing yourself to be a friend? You can't have friends unless you are a friend. I think womanhood and women being together is the most beautiful thing ever. And I want little girls to know, you find some friends because you can do things. I told some little girls in the Bronx at a public school, you can do things by yourself, but it's so much sweeter and you can get so much more done with your girlfriend at your side, helping you. That's where the twofold cord is stronger. So I wanted girls to know the power, their self-worth. I think that young girls growing up into young ladies, that's why sometimes they get caught up in stuff that's above their heads and situations where they don't know their power. They don't know how to say no. But if you have a girlfriend to help you along, to advise you, it's such a beautiful thing. I wouldn't be where I am right now without my girlfriends.
For sure.
Helping me, being bossy, going, Sherri, I don't think you should go that way. Sherri, that man right there, everybody got a story about my ex-husband. I didn't like him. I didn't do that. My publicist sitting right there. They all told me all the stories after I got divorced.
Why does it happen?
Girl, I don't.
Why do they wait till after the
Simone
fact?
was like, girl, this what he did. And this, I was like, didn't nobody tell? But you know why they didn't tell me when I was married? Because I would have cut him. I would have cut them out.
You would have chose your man?
I would have chosen him.
You would have chosen
And they know that. And I'm so thankful that they stuck around. But like, girls will take you, your girlfriends will take you through the tough times. And I meet new people in my life, like you, like, other people. Who am I meeting new in my life that I just love? Candy Burris. She shows up for me on this talk show every single time. She's on 6 times. She'll drop everything to come. We just get along. And so like new people are coming into my life. But you know what? They all bring something different. Candy teaches me about finance. I don't know the number.
I've been seeing like a lot of Candy finance clips.
Let me tell you something. That girl thinks entrepreneurial on everything.
Wow.
Everything. And I didn't. And I'm like, dang it. I should have invested in Othello. I didn't do it. But she's that person, like she really teaches me things like that. I was like, I need a sex toy line like you, Candy. Because, Candy got it's bedroom candy coated. I don't know. I got all the toys. But, so everybody brings something.
No, friendship is key.
Friendship is key.
No, for sure.
DeBrat calls me every other day going, hey, Ninja, what you doing? You better be calling the Ninja back. I just was wanting to know, I'm checking on you, make sure your energy, your spirit good. And so I love women. I do.
I was just thinking about, we were talking about Barbara before, and also talking about some of the things that we go through as we get older, forgetting, menopause, like forgetfulness and careers. I always have this idea about when people get older, that like Quincy Jones, that article that Quincy Jones did where he was telling everybody's business.
Yes, he was.
I thought how much fun must that be to get to an age where you say whatever the fuck you want,
just anything you want
at anybody's expense, and you get to a certain age where it's almost kind of like,
I mean, look at
y'all gotta just take that. You gotta just take that. So maybe that was
Dionne Warwick is like that.
Maybe I didn't understand that. If I had that thought in my mind, maybe I would have appreciated that exchange that I had with Barbara in that time.
It's hard
because
she was in her.
It is hard, but I could have appreciated she's in her, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say era.
But I do have to say, as a person who is the recipient of that, it's just hard. You can see it directed at other people and go, well, she's in that. But when it's directed at you, that mess is like, damn.
I'm excited to be in that era one day, though.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I remember I had an auntie Tiny, and my cousin asked her to borrow $10,000. She said no. And my cousin said, Auntie, I know you got it. She said, I do got it. I'm not giving it to you. I said, that's what I want to be. Where it's just like, I don't care what I'm saying. I'm saying I said it. I mean what I say.
That is so
And I want to write a tell-all book, but you can't do it till right before you go. I want to write a tell-all book so bad.
Oh, you're
the stories
I
have. My gosh.
I could only imagine.
Well, you got stories too. It's like those things where those are the stories you tell with your girlfriend.
Do you think that we should do a tell-all book at some point?
I don't know if it's not right, if you should go to your grave with them, but it's just so many good, maybe I could do it with no names. And then you got to tell
us all the stories. For now, we'll do the Sunshine Queens.
The Sunshine
And when you're ready, you know what I mean? We'll get to the other stories.
That's right.
In real life, how often do you think about your legacy? And what do you think that will be?
I just started thinking about it in the last maybe 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. What is my legacy? Somebody mentioned it. And I was like, I really want it to be that people felt better than when they came around me. They felt better as they walked away. I want, young people to feel like Sherri helped me. Sherri mentored me. Sherri encouraged me. She challenged me. I want people to feel like, you know what, Sherri made it. Sherri made me feel like my dream could come true. That's what I want. And I want my son to be able to say, I love my mommy. She did, she was there for me. So beyond that, I haven't really thought more about it.
We didn't talk about this much earlier, but I wonder, what was the thing?
I want some man to go, damn, woo! I do want a man to say that.
You do?
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
I don't know where you just went.
I just want a man to be like, woo, that was the one that got away.
Yeah.
Oh, she got away.
He's coming. And you're not going to get away. So
you're not going to get away. I'm not going to get away.
Yeah. So there that is. What is that thing in that little young Sherri as a girl coming up? Or there's always something in us that makes us want to do what we do. It's usually something that comes from childhood or your surroundings or your circumstances in childhood. What is the thing that made you want to make people laugh or make people smile? Or
I always was my family, the Shepherds, everybody's funnier than me. I just am the one that makes the money. I'm the one that took the risk. I think I am more of a risk taker than a lot of folks in my family because they are bar none way funnier than me, quicker, wittier. But I think it was also, I knew making people laugh, I could see that it made them feel better. I could see that after my mother and my dad would have a big argument, that if I did something, they would laugh and it would be better. I saw that it got me out of trouble if I made them laugh. My parents moved me from Chicago in the middle of Roots, remember Roots? And that was very traumatic for me because my sister and I were the only Black people, aside from another boy in the school. We were only Black kids. So I got called the N-word every other second.
Wow.
I had rocks thrown at me. I just wanted to have friends. How old was I?
Yeah.
I moved out to the suburbs in Hoffman Estates when I was 11 years old, and my sister was 9. So then my sister...
So they call an 11-year-old girl
all the time, because kids learn from their parents. So if their parents is like that, then they put it on their kids.
Wow.
And my sister would fight everybody. She was like, she wouldn't want to mess with. She would fight you. But for me, I wasn't a fighter. I just wanted friends. I wanted to be able to go ice skating on the pond, but they would be like, this N-word can go get off the ice, N-word. In gym, I was the last person to get picked. People would pull my hair.
Was it all white school?
It was all white school. They would pull my hair when I walked by. They would trip me. My books would fall. It was a lot of humiliation. And I learned that laughter would make them forget about tormenting me. That if I made a person laugh, then it wasn't so bad that they didn't pick me. I'll be sitting there the only one that getting picked for, to do any of the exercises in gym. I was the only one when we went to the YMCA for the summer. You would take a little bus over there, and it was only me and my sister. And somebody pushed me in the deep end. I didn't know how to swim, and I got berated by the lifeguard in front of everybody. And he made me sit in the corner facing the wall. It was very humiliating. So I learned that laughter can make people forget about a lot of things. And that was my, default mechanism. So people in my yearbook are right. Sherri was most likely to become famous. Sherri's most likely to marry Michael Jackson.
You're always laughing and making...
Because I was always laughing. Yeah. That was when I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I always needed to make you laugh.
At any point, did that not work for you anymore? Because usually when we latch onto things to make us feel better, it's almost like a dependency on it.
Right.
So if it's not working, it's like...
I think it probably stopped working for me because of bad choices that I made in men. I have to accept I made these bad choices, and the laughter didn't take me through it. It didn't take me through it when that's a guilt that I still suffer from, because when I found out that my husband was cheating, I stopped eating and drinking water for 2 days. I didn't know that your amniotic fluid is replenished every time you eat, you drink. And so my amniotic fluid was darn near nothing. And I went into premature labor, and I had Jeffrey at 25 weeks.
Wow.
He was 1 pound, 10 ounces. And because of all of that is why he has all of the, the issues that he has. And that's a guilt, because laughter did not take me through that. I stopped talking for almost like a year. I didn't do stand-up comedy. Because laughter was not serving me. When I would look at my son, having seizures and slower than everybody else and not having the same milestones as everybody else. And laughter stopped for me. So it worked with everybody else, but it didn't work for me. And I had to face some real big issues when, going through 2 painful divorces. Laughter wasn't working for me.
Oh, that's tough. But when that's your thing.
That's my thing. But I would get on stage, and those experiences I would take on stage, and it would make other people laugh. So I saw that my pain made other people laugh because they might have been going through the same thing. I got a sitcom based on me talking about my husband cheating on me with a white girl and her having a baby. I got a sitcom called Sherri. Jamie Foxx saw it with his manager. He was like, "Is that real?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Keep doing that. That's like, can't nobody steal that, because that's your experience." And I had a whole Malcolm Jamal Warner played my husband who cheated on me,
Wow.
Tammy Townsend played
I didn't know that was real.
That was
the
real.
Whole thing was real.
That was absolutely real. And
This is your first marriage?
This is my first marriage.
So you're how old in your first marriage?
I was, when I married him, probably I think I was 36. We were in a relationship for 6 years.
So you thought,
married 5.
This is my person.
I thought that was my soulmate. I thought it was going to be forever. I didn't do a prenup. My business manager begged me, do a prenup. I lost everything. Wow. That's why I tell people, women, get a prenup. Even if you don't think, no, but it's planting the seed for divorce. No, it's not. It's a contract. Just like marriage is a contract. You don't need it until you need it. And hopefully you won't ever need it. But it protects your assets. If you were trying to put your parents in a home and pay for them, all that is gone. If you were trying to set aside money for your child, all that is gone. A prenup protects you from when you go in, the assets that you've worked so hard to build. I lost my home in it. I lost everything because I was like, we're going to be married forever.
So you're 36 years old. You're going to be married forever. This man is cheating on you.
Yeah.
And you found out probably in a harsh way.
Yeah, I found out. I don't talk about it too much because.
Sorry. Okay.
And I'm not saying this off the record. And the reason why I don't is because she had children by my ex-husband. And here's the thing, where God can come in through the ugliness of a situation. Me and her was at odds because she fell in love with my husband. But these 2 children, when I tell you they are the light of my life, Jeffrey's siblings, he's got a sister and he's got a brother. And they are his brother, who's a year younger, called me the other day and he said, I will move to New York because nobody's going to take advantage of my brother. Like, his sister loves him. That's when Jeffrey smiles. He loves them. Like, they are so close. And this came from, I didn't even like this woman. We used to feud all the time. She had a baby. I had a baby. She was like, don't come by my house. I was like, bitch, I'll come by your house. That's mine. But we get along so well.
Now? Wow.
Girl, when I tell you, we get along so well. She wrote me a long letter saying, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was young at the time. I didn't know that I was messing up this thing. And then it made me see who she was. You were a young girl. He had no right taking advantage of you. That's why I tell people, sometimes look at these, we call them side chicks, but some of these women, they don't know. They young. She wasn't thinking about me. She was in her 20s. She was working at a Subway sandwich shop. The self-esteem wasn't there, and somebody took advantage of it. And so, but God has healed this relationship where she will call me if I'm sick. I call her. She's sick.
That's beautiful.
She said to me the other day, she said, you will never have to worry about Jeffrey because we got a place for Jeffrey. I will always take care of your son. And I said, and you never have to worry about those 2 kids. They're like my children. I will always, they're my will.
Yeah.
I will always take care of your children.
Wow.
And she's thanked me for giving them experiences that they've never had. Because I always made sure I kept them together, because I knew that if Jeffrey looked up, you know how you look up and you go, yeah, I got a sister down in Utah, but I don't really know them. I always wanted him to be able to count on his siblings and them to be able to count on Jeffrey. And when I tell you those 3, when they come to New York and they visit often, they love each other so much. His sister's
what happened to the father?
He's not even, he's not in the picture no more, because they're all of age. Okay. They're all of age.
Oh, got it.
But when he was in the picture, I would pay for him and the siblings and Jeffrey.
So you forgave?
I did forgive, because otherwise I was going to be bitter. I was on The View talking about him. And then finally, even my dad called and said, you got to stop, Sherri. You sound so bitter. And I was like, well, you would be bitter too if you went through what I went through. And then my son is, but I had to let that go for me. And I would pray every day, Father, I don't feel it, but bless me to just forgive. Bless me to forgive. The second one was harder, because I
was going to say, how do you go through that? How do you survive that, forgive that, come out on the other side, and then go back in? Did you have no fear of going back in the second time?
The second time, that's when I was lonely. At 43, I was scared. I was scared that I was going to be by myself, when I should have took the time and do what I'm doing now and just lived, and to find out what I wanted. I got out of a divorce and got right back into a marriage.
Oh, it was quick. Got it.
It was so quick. And I'm not going to blame him for nothing. I made bad choices. I didn't have my eyes open, and it costs. When you make bad choices, sometimes the consequences are a lot. And I went through some stuff. I really did. It took me a long time to trust again. But every day I had to go, Father God, every day I had to forgive. Every day when I showed up in court and he was subpoenaing Barbara Walters, Star Jones, every celebrity in the business, I was like, what are you doing?
Wow.
But I had to forgive because I was getting bitter.
Yeah.
And then I would go, Lord, please bless me that if we ever see each other, I don't spit on them. Like, give me the strength. And now I'm just like, you know what? I got so many blessings. I'm not, I still talk about them and make fun, and it's, I'll make it funny. But yeah, I did forgive because it's made me who I am. Now I'm like, I make decisions differently. I look at certain things. I go, what are the red flags? I don't take certain things. And now I'm in a place, Angie, like I said, I don't feel, even at this age, I don't feel like I need to have a man. I'm not afraid of being alone. I'm not lonely. I'm by myself and I'm alone, but I'm not afraid of that. And I feel great. I do. So I had to go through that to be at this place.
Yeah.
I was in an abusive relationship when I was 18. The boy used to whoop my ass. And I learned,
Sherri Shepherd.
Everybody has a story.
Yes,
everybody has a story. And he was crazy, and he went to prison, and and I was trying to get up there to see him in prison, trying to take the bus up to Lompoc, California.
Oh my God.
Putting money on his books.
At 18,
girl, at 18, he was seeing 3 different women. He's from prison. He sent a card one time that said, "Lisa, will you marry me?"
Oh hell!
I was like, who the hell is Lisa? She got the card that said, "Sherri, I love you. Will you marry me?" Oh my gosh. That mess was funny. Oh my gosh. But I went through that at that age to learn that at this age, I wish a ninja would. Yeah. I wish you would put your hand on me. First of all, after I got over the shock, like, did you hit me? Oh, it'd be all kind. Please.
Police.
Everything. Are you kidding me? You gonna see a whirlwind of an explosion like you ain't never seen. But I had to go through that.
To get to here.
To get to here. And I had to go through the 2 divorces to know what I will take, what I won't take, what to look for. And I'm okay. And I'm gonna make it through. It's scary being by yourself.
Yeah.
But then you go, you know what? I did it. I did it before, and I can do it again. Yeah. And I'm okay.
And you seem really happy.
I'm so happy.
I love that for you.
And I think that when you radiate that, that's when you attract. And Lord, I have attracted. I guess I got to get some advice from you on somebody you know. And so, it's like, girl, but I don't need to be with you. That's what I tell women. Go about the business of who you are.
Yeah.
And let him interrupt what you're doing.
I can't wait to have that conversation.
Girl, I'm gonna ask girl. I got some advice.
Yeah, we're gonna have that. All right, our closeout question. Ready?
Yes.
This is good because throughout this conversation, you have shared many times about how prayer, and God has really gotten you through so many moments.
Yes.
So the last question I ask you is, if God were to text you right now, what would it say? At this time in your life, right now, today.
If God were to text me right now, I think God would say, Sherri, stop being scared of me. I love you no matter what. The love I have for you is unconditional. And I got you. I just need you to let go and trust me. And I got you. That's what I think God would say.
That's beautiful.
And then I'll curse and say something crazy. And he gonna go, oh, Jesus. This girl right here, my daughter.
Well, I'm glad he got you.
He does.
And we love you.
Love you.
And that is
too.
Sherri Shepherd in real life, everybody.
This is Sherri Shepherd in real life.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and check out all of the other episodes we have on Angie Martinez IRL podcast.